And welcome back again to another episode of Talking Toku, Boston's only podcast about Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, and all their kaiju friends. I am your host, David Scrivani.
I'm your other host, Brian Kershaw.
And Brian, today's a big day.
It is a big day.
It's a big... This episode has been in the works. It's been 2 years in the making.
I did it.
You did it.
I watched Ultra Q.
He watched Ultra Q. For any long-time listeners, quote-unquote, this is only episode 9, 10.
Something.
So we've only been going for a couple months now, but I want to say in almost every episode I've given you shit for watching Ultra Q.
Yeah.
So for some background.
And in every single episode I say, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
This week.
So for some background, Mill Creek, who we've talked about on the show before because they're always announcing new Ultraman releases.
God bless them.
God bless them. Let me see if I can see the year this came out. Okay, so this Ultra Q came out about 2 years ago, early 2019. I watched it really quickly because it's only like 30 episodes or something. 28.
It is an 11-hour runtime, which is hard to believe.
I know. So I watched it and immediately I was like, Brian, you need to watch this. So I went to my copy, which I have right here. I can't believe I have this in my hand again. And you just never got around to it, unfortunately.
Nope.
And to the point where on this show it kind of became a running joke where I would give Brian shit for watching Ultra Q.
And also in real life.
And then, I don't know, I'd like to think that the reason you actually finally did watch it was because last time Jared also pressured you to watch it. I don't think that's the case, but I'd like to think it is.
He was nice about it.
He doesn't know you well, though.
That's why. He was nice, and he boosted our show, which means that I had to do it.
Well, I don't know if he boosted. At least on the SoundCloud, it's only gotten 8 plays.
Oh, well.
I haven't checked the Spotify statistics, which I think that's been the one that's been shared the most.
He's boosted my confidence.
There you go. That's good.
Because he said we sound professional.
He did say that. That was very nice of him. I don't know if that was on the recording, but he said we were professional, and that means a lot.
Yep.
So, Jared, I don't know if you're gonna listen to any of the other episodes we've done, but thanks, pal. Appreciate it.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. Well, before we get into our deep dive on Ultra Q, we got some news. Brian, do you have any news for me?
Yeah, because you sent me the picture of the Rodan plushie from Singular Point, and it's happening, and I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, I can't remember what company is doing it, but
Dave, I haven't been this excited in a long time. I'm shaking with excitement.
I don't know what company is doing it, but the little Rodan plush from Godzilla Singular Point is actually being made. I don't know if it's gonna squawk like the plush in the show does.
I don't care if it does.
I don't care if it does either.
I just want it.
Yeah, and I think they're also doing May's phone case and her backpack as well.
Okay, I'm gonna buy all of it.
Yeah. I'm really excited for that.
I honestly don't care. I don't try to be like masculine or whatever, but I'm buying all this shit. It's mine.
Yeah, no. Hey, it's Rodan and it's cute.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe someday when I have kids, I'll pass it down.
And then you'll make your kids, your 5-year-old kids, watch Godzilla Singular Point, and they won't understand a goddamn thing.
Yep. I mean, me as a 23-year-old probably have the same understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
even though
if anything, it'll turn your kids off of Godzilla.
I did actually end up watching the full American dub.
Oh, did you?
Or English dub, not necessarily American. It did make more sense.
It does, yeah.
It does make more sense. So that has nothing to do with the news, but news for me.
And it's a day of firsts, people. We got Brian watching Ultra Q, and he actually has news for us today.
I know, it's crazy.
We're turning this ship around, man.
See, this is what happens when you send me the news beforehand.
I guess so. All right, but on to some more news. I thought it was going to be kind of light on news this week, but it's not really. I mean, kind of is, but point is, some of these are going to be a little bit of a stretch, like you're doing right now.
I'm tired.
That's why I have coffee. This is kind of a stretch. It's not really kaiju, but it sort of is. Monster Hunter is getting a Netflix movie.
Oh, wow. Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
I should have known that. I knew it got an actual movie that sucked.
Yeah, and I kind of want to watch that because I know it's going to be bad because it's Paul W.S. Anderson
who did the
Resident Evil movies. Yep.
Which for anyone and for everyone who definitely does not know, because I've not mentioned them before, they are my guilty pleasure movies. Because I love the Resident Evil games, but the movies are a travesty, but they're absolutely hilarious.
That's what I've heard. And I mean, I haven't really, the only thing I've seen of his is Event Horizon, which I think is a legitimately good movie, and Alien vs. Predator, which is another guilty pleasure, I think.
Yeah. Did he do Requiem?
I think he did all the Resident Evil movies. Oh, no, Alien vs. Predator Requiem. No, he did not.
Okay.
I don't think. I don't remember who.
That might explain a lot.
Yeah. Monster Hunter Legends of the Guild is a new animated film that stars Dante Basco as Aiden, who is a character from the games. He's like the ace cadet, I think they call him in the games. I don't know. I've never really played any Monster Hunter games.
If he's not in World, I won't know.
I think he is in World.
Okay, well, there's a lot of characters in there that
he's got red hair and it's kind of like in a poof at the front. He's in the opening cutscene. He's like when you're on the ship and eating in the ship.
Is he like? Wait, do you have a picture of him?
I can get a picture of him.
Okay, because I think I might know who you're talking about. But I know the thing about Monster Hunter is I don't remember anyone's names. I just remember what they look like.
Yeah. Oh, because Aiden, it seems like, is referred to as not Aiden in the games. He's referred to as like the Ace Cadet, and there was some other name he goes by. Aiden Monster Hunter. Yes. Yes. Here we go. The guy. This is a really low res picture. The guy on the right with the red hair.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's gonna be focusing on him.
That guy.
On his origin story, as he sets off on a journey to defend his village from an elder dragon.
All right.
I don't know much about Monster Hunter, but that seems pretty cookie cutter in terms of plot.
Monster Hunter is pretty cookie cutter, but it's fun.
That's fair. But I feel like that wouldn't translate well to a movie. But yeah,
no, everyone knows my opinion on video game movies. It just makes me want to go play the game.
That's fair. It's going to be directed by Steve Yamamoto in his directorial debut. He's been a visual effects artist on such movies as Deadpool 2, Justice League, which is known for its visual effects, and The Dark Tower.
Oh no.
What if he was responsible for Mustache Gate, Brian? What if it was him specifically?
Oh no. The movie Dark Tower and Justice League being talked about in the same sentence.
Those are like the three most recent things he's done. I figured those would be the most relevant, quote unquote.
I honestly forgot Dark Tower even came out.
I think a lot of people did. I think a lot of people did.
I remember the marketing was like really pushed and then it just stopped. Mm-hmm. It was really jarring.
Yeah.
And then everyone forgot about it.
Yeah, because it was a bad movie. Yeah. Because the Dark Tower... I've never read the Dark Tower, but as I understand it, the Dark Tower is a very in-depth, lore-heavy series.
Well, yeah, there's like
I think there's like 5 books.
There's like 5 books, and then they tried to just adapt all of like a bunch of pieces of them into one movie, and it was like
only an hour and a half movie too.
Yeah, it was really short.
Yeah. So Lord knows that went well.
Where's the director who directed that movie's cut of
Dark Tower?
Of Dark Tower.
The Snyder cut.
The Snyder cut of Dark Tower. Give me the director's cut.
But yeah, so Monster Hunter Legends of the Guild is going to be out on Netflix on August 12th. I probably won't watch it.
Neither will I.
All right, cool. Glad we're on the same page.
Because I watched the most recent Resident Evil show that came out.
Oh yeah, I heard that was not good.
God, was it bad?
Yeah, I heard that was not good.
For anyone who likes Resident Evil, if you have any self-respect left, which I don't, because I like the movies, don't watch it. It's bad. It's really bad. And they just like, I feel like they only made it just to show off how like inventively they could kill people.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
But then they just do it worse than they do in the games.
No, that's no fun.
No one loses their hand and then puts it back on with juice.
But they do.
Not in the show.
Well, that's no fun. Moving on, this is something actually related to kaiju. Legendary Comics just launched a Kickstarter campaign for the Pacific Rim Ultimate Omnibus, a massive 500-plus page hardcover book collecting all the previous Pacific Rim comics, including Pacific Rim Tales from the Drift, Pacific Rim Tales from Year Zero, Pacific Rim Aftermath, and Pacific Rim Amara, as well as a brand new prequel comic to The Black, being written by Star Wars The High Republic writer Cavan Scott. I hope that's how you pronounce his first name. It's Cavan. I assume it's Cavan, maybe Cavan. I don't know. But he's doing the prequel comic to Pacific Rim The Black called Pacific Rim Blackout. The campaign has already exceeded its initial goal of $10,000. When I typed up my little news thing, it was currently sitting at $91,035 with 23 days left in the campaign.
Wow.
So they have made their money and then some.
Smashed it.
Yeah. I think it's really cool that they're doing that. I think I've only read like 2 of those books. I know you have one of them.
I own...
Is it Year Zero or From the Drift that you have?
I own Year Zero.
Okay. So I've read Year Zero and I've read Pacific Rim Amara, which is the prequel to Uprising. Because that was a Webtoon exclusive for some reason.
I didn't even know that existed.
I didn't know it existed until like a couple months ago.
You see, I read Year Zero. I read it and I was just like, well, this was information that I didn't really ask for, and it didn't really add anything in terms of the universe.
I mean, I like the story that about Stacker Pentecost's co-pilot.
Yeah, no, I just feel like with comics that are like either prequels or continuations from the movie, they just don't really do a lot for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because like, I don't know, I'd just rather see it in a movie.
That's understandable.
I guess, but I know that that's not really an opinion shared by a lot of people.
I can understand it, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this. I don't like the fact that the omnibus itself is behind a $99 donation.
Oh yeah.
Like, you can get Pacific Rim Blackout separately for like, I want to say $40, but if you want the omnibus, you need to spend $99.
So you need to donate to the Kickstarter or whatever?
Well, yeah, I'm sure it'll be widely released like way after the fact.
Watch it come out and it's gonna be like $50.
I would much prefer paying $50, but I mean it is a hardcover, and hardcovers tend to be more expensive, but still.
I mean, you just wait. Maybe it'll be cheap.
Maybe.
Depends on how much they print of it.
Depends how much I care.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably just read it online.
I could. I mean, yeah, you could read any of these online, really.
I mean, do you even have space for any comics, Dave?
Not really.
Yeah, you don't really have space for
my big hardcover of Giant Killer is still just kind of sitting in my living room on the coffee table.
Yeah, you don't have space for any more movies at all.
I really don't.
You have no space for clothes or anything.
No.
So I don't really know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm like, because I don't know if you got yours in, but my Daimajin set came in the other day, and it's currently sitting on top of my DVD shelf with the other box sets.
So mine got shipped today. Mm-hmm. I got the notification about it. Oh, that's also news. The Daimajin set came out today. If you didn't get it, good luck getting it. So
I don't know if it's sold out yet, like the Gamera was, but who knows?
I'd check just for shits. I'm not seeing it anywhere.
Oh well. You snooze, you lose.
I'm excited about it.
We told you about it when it was announced. If you didn't go for it, then it's your own fault. Snooze, you lose. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but how big is it? Because I have no room.
It's not big. It's the same size as the other Gamera sets you have.
Oh, okay.
So maybe a little bigger.
Okay.
But not much bigger.
All right. Well, cool.
Yeah.
I'll have some room for it.
Yeah.
After I clear stuff out.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Pacific Rim, cool. I like comics. I like monsters. Oh, speaking of Pacific Rim.
Oh, here we go.
Here's a bit of quote unquote news. Have you seen the new Taco Bell commercial?
No.
So, you know, Taco Bell's thing with they're always bringing the nacho fries back because everyone loves the nacho fries. I don't think they're that good. Hot take, they get cold after like 2 seconds, and the dipping sauce is just nacho cheese, and it's not even that good.
I've literally never had them.
Good. Keep it that way. Anyways, when they just brought it back again this year, and to announce it, they made like a really well done like anime of like the nacho fries are like summoning kaiju, and that's why they keep taking them away.
Oh my God.
And they make giant mechs to combat the kaiju who want the nacho fries. We are not sponsored by Taco Bell, by the way, but Taco Bell, if you want to sponsor Talking Toku, I will not complain at all. Feel free.
I just want to like know what the budget is behind these like marketing pushes. And
I mean, it's really well animated.
I know, but
for a Taco Bell commercial.
That's why I want to know it.
Yeah.
Because I always look at the budget for movies that are like really bad, and then I just feel really bad about where all that money just got wasted. And I'm not saying that this money's getting wasted, but I mean, what else could you put it towards? I don't know. Better food.
Better food, yeah.
Yeah, better
food.
food.
I like Taco Bell, but those nacho fries aren't good. Make them better. Use that money to make them better, man.
Yeah, I'm not a fast food person, but make the world better for fast food eaters.
Yeah. It's not hard. It wouldn't be hard.
No.
Put the quesarito back on the main menu. Don't make it so I have to go order it through the app.
And you know what? Pay your workers better.
That too.
Yeah.
You have all that money to make a kaiju anime commercial. Pay your workers, man.
No wonder all of your employees are leaving and leaving windows in the sign.
Brian, I don't think we're getting sponsored by Taco Bell anytime soon.
No, we're not. Leaving signs in the window saying we all quit. We're closed. See, we endorse kaiju stuff, but not if you're just going to treat your workers badly. That's the drama of the week.
That's the drama. Oh no, I actually have some drama. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
But the last news thing that's not the drama. We have a very, very small update on Sony Pictures' The Kaiju Score. Do you know about that movie?
No.
So it's based on a comic book. I don't remember from which studio. I want to say Boom. I'm probably wrong about that because I've never actually read the comic. But have you watched Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead?
Not yet.
You know the basic thing about it?
Yeah.
It's a heist in the middle of a zombie thing?
Yeah.
Okay, imagine that, but instead of zombies, it's a kaiju attack.
Wow.
Yeah.
So creative.
From what I've heard, it's a really cool comic, and Sony really very quickly, because it's still a fairly new comic, they bought the rights to do a movie on it a couple years ago, and we just announced I didn't announce anything.
Are you Sony undercover?
Shh.
Is that why you got a PS5 so fast?
Shh. They're not supposed to know that, Brian.
Okay.
But so we have Mark and Brian Gunn, who were James Gunn's cousins.
Hey, I know them.
And they they're the screenwriters for Brightburn and Journey 2, The Mysterious Island. They acquired the screenplay for the Kaiju Score. I don't really know what that means, but they have it, and I guess they're gonna produce it.
Sure.
Yeah. So
whatever that means.
yeah, I don't know.
Some kind of weird studio talk.
Yeah, no, and I'm a film student. Maybe I should know this stuff, but I don't. So,
Maybe it's being kept purposefully
vague.
ambiguous.
Maybe. Point is, we're getting a movie about a heist in the middle of a kaiju attack, and that seems pretty cool to me.
I'll take it over a heist in a hurricane or a tornado any day.
Oh my god, the hurricane heist!
Yeah, hurricane heist.
I forgot about that movie.
Everyone did.
I should watch it.
My friend Corey watched it.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Okay.
I asked him about it and I never got an answer.
All right, cool. Fair enough. But all right, it's time for our drama. It's not as interesting as the drama we had last time.
Okay.
I'll just start it off by this. Scalpers fucking suck, man.
Yep.
Do you know anything about the whole Mondo thing? The whole Mondo situation?
No.
So San Diego Comic-Con is still happening right now? I don't know.
In person?
No, they're doing like all digital stuff.
Okay, I was gonna say.
But Mondo had a bunch of Godzilla stuff shown off at Comic-Con. They had a couple statues, one of which was a Hanna-Barbera Godzilla statue.
You know what? I actually saw that.
Yeah, I remember they showed that off years and years and years ago when they first got the license for it, and I kind of totally forgot about it until they actually unveiled the final version. But they had a couple statues. There was their tiki mugs that they do. They own one for Ghidorah, which is really neat. And so Mondo recently is beginning into the Sofubi game. For anyone who doesn't know what Sofubi is, There are these. I think it's shorthand for soft vinyl. I have one actual Sofubi figure and one Mondo Sofubi. The Mondo Sofubi isn't actually soft vinyl; it's the more harder vinyl. So I'm not gonna fault him for that. But point is, basically, a Sofubi figure it's kind of a sort of stylized sculpt, and they have a bunch of different color schemes with it. I don't know if I ever showed you that kind of yellow Godzilla figure I got a couple weeks ago, like yellow see-through, looked like Jello.
I think you did.
That's a Sofubi figure.
Oh, okay. Well, even if not, I've seen them before.
Yeah,
you described it to me.
Yeah. So a couple months ago they did a line of Pulgasari Sofubi figures, one of which I have, and so for Comic-Con they said, hey, we have a 1984 Godzilla figure we're doing, and we have a Hedorah figure we're doing to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Godzilla vs. Hedorah. So those went up for sale.
Oh, no.
And they were sold out within 2 minutes.
Oh, no.
And immediately, they were up on eBay for way more money than they were selling them for, than Mondo was selling. I think the Godzilla and Hedorah figures were $90.
Ooh.
And they were on eBay almost immediately for like $225.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, I probably wasn't going to buy one because I'm a little strapped for cash, but the 84 Godzilla figures looked really, really great. I would have loved to get one. But
yeah. Yeah, that's a bit
scalpers, man, they ain't no good.
As a PC building enthusiast, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. We've called people out on the show before. If you're transphobic or abusive in your relationships,
just generally a shitty person.
If you're a scalper, fuck you.
I'm pretty sure that everybody hates scalpers.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even matter. Even like the scum of the earth hates scalpers. I bet Donald Trump hates scalpers.
And then people still support them.
Yeah.
Dude, I know he spent $900 on a PS5.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? You're not helping the situation. You will be able to get one if you're patient. You were patient. Didn't you buy one from a legitimate source?
I bought. Okay, so I got a PS5 from a guy who set up a bot that just bought PS5s, and then he would sell them to people he knew personally for the same price that he bought them.
Okay, that's not bad then.
So but he didn't like buy an obscene amount of them. He probably bought like 3 of them.
So he's a scalper, but he's like a good scalper. He's not upselling them.
He's a scalper for people that he knows.
Okay.
And he's not going to sell them to random people at like a crazy price.
Yeah, he's not buying them and selling them for $900.
But then I actually did get a code to go buy a PS5 a couple weeks ago.
Oh, there you
and I
go.
tried to offer it off, but no one wanted it.
Oh.
Which was bizarre.
Okay. That's weird.
I was like, hey, you want a PS5? But it turns out that all of my close friends have one already.
Oh.
And then the code expired. And I was like,
oh, well
that sucks.
That's unfortunate.
But you know what? It did say that if you don't redeem it, it gets sent to someone else.
Oh, okay. So someone will use it. That's good.
Yeah.
But rest in peace, the Mondo Godzilla figures, I guess.
That sucks.
I have no confirmation on this, but I saw someone in the comments section about it. Again, this is conjecture. I have no confirmation on this, but I have seen someone saying that from a former Mondo employee, that Mondo is the one buying the figures and then reselling them themselves to make a bigger profit.
That's crazy.
I hope that's not the case.
I don't know.
I really hope that's not the case.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
That seems... That's like the my dad works for Microsoft thing.
My dad works for Nintendo, and he said Godzilla's going to be in the next Smash Brothers game.
Yeah. No, I don't know. That just seems like way like...
Yeah.
Like, if EA isn't doing that, then I know that...
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I really hope that's not the case, and I don't think it is, but...
yeah. Well, actually, you know what? I do have another piece of news that's kaiju.
Oh, man.
Kaiju adjacent, which we actually talked about at some point, not on the show.
All right.
But Dead Space, which does have giant monsters in it.
Dead Space does technically have giant monsters in it.
It is getting a full-on remake.
It is.
Resident Evil 2 style. And for people who don't know, because I've never mentioned it, Dead Space, specifically Dead Space 2, is one of my favorite games. And probably still is. Maybe. It's always been tied with Bloodborne. Mm-hmm. It's getting a remake. I'm psyched about it. And they better not fuck it up.
It's from the studio who did Star Wars Squadrons, right?
Maybe?
I think it is.
It's from what, Motive?
Yeah, they did Squadrons.
Yeah, it's from Motive, and they're taking it, they're rebuilding the game entirely, and apparently they're adding cut content, which
okay. I did not hear about that.
That is could introduce the potential for the game to be ruined, so I really want them to tread lightly on that.
Okay.
Because one of the cut features of the original game was actually co-op. And
really?
The original developers said that it had completely shattered the game.
Wow.
So I really hope they don't try it.
Interesting.
I really hope they don't try it, because the original developers from Visceral Games said that it completely shattered the mood and the tone of the story when they had two characters. So please no. I don't think they're going to do it, because it is one of those things where it's like completely out of left field and no one's asking for it. But you know what? I don't know. I honestly don't know, because game remakes can be bizarre sometimes. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah. I said it to you, but I don't think that this game is actually going to come out until like 2023 or 2024 latest, because the trailer seems to be more of an engine demo than anything.
Like kind of a proof of concept sort of thing.
Yeah, so
which is upsetting, because I really want to play Dead Space.
Yeah, but on the bright side, it seems like it is an exclusive to PC and next gen only, which is great, because they don't have to hold back in terms of like assets and stuff like that, because it'll be on next gen stuff.
And I'm really excited to see how it looks, because if the Resident Evil remakes are anything to go by, like, weird, gross monsters are better than they've looked ever, and Dead Space is chock full of weird, gross monsters.
I still think RE2 Remake is one of the best games visually, like, still. That game still looks incredibly good, and I think that in some places it looks better than 8.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which is really strange, because 8 is the newer game by, what, 4 years now or something? 2 years?
I think so. I don't remember when 2 came out.
I don't know. I feel like it's either 17 or 18.
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't remember. Whatever.
But that's all for news. So it's time, Brian.
It's time.
So I'm going to ask you, what'd you think of Ultra Q?
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome?
I'm actually going to buy it.
You're actually going to... Oh, my God.
I'm actually going to buy it.
You're actually going to buy it.
No, this was great. It's basically like Twilight Zone, but with kaiju.
Yeah, no, that's how I've described it to everyone I recommend it to. It's like the Twilight Zone, Outer Limits kind of show, but with giant monsters in it.
Yeah, it was absolutely bizarre, and I adored it.
Bizarre is a phenomenal word to describe this show.
And also, all the characters, they were like... really good.
Yeah,
they were super charming,
and it's helped quite a bit that the cast is so damn good, because I mean, you have Kenji Sahara, who is one of the golden boys of kaiju. He's in Rodan and God knows how many other Godzilla movies. So and you also have Hiroko Sakurai, who later went on to appear in the follow-up series Ultraman as a much less interesting character, but if we ever talk about Ultraman, we'll get to that.
She was also in other stuff.
Probably, but
I think she was in a Godzilla movie.
I don't know about that, but she's definitely in Ultraman as one of the Science Patrol officers.
She looked really familiar, and I was just like, I feel like I know her from something. So maybe it's something else that I've watched.
Yeah, no, the cast in this is great. Like, they all have, like, other Ultra series going forward, they're always like, it tends to be like a specific team to combat monsters. But with this, it's just like, this guy's a journalist. He's a pilot. He flies airplanes.
Well, she's the journalist, and then there's 2 pilots.
Okay, yeah. Ipe is a pilot. I thought he was the journalist. My bad.
No.
So yeah, this will be kind of your thing, like how I did the comics episode. You might have to take the reins on this one, Brian.
No, you probably remember enough about that show.
I haven't watched in 2 years, Brian.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know how you want to go down because like there were some episodes that I just don't remember because they were kind of.
Yeah, I was going through the list of episodes shortly before. I think like basically the entire like last disc and a half is just kind of a blur to me.
Yeah, the last couple episodes they were good still, but they didn't really.
They're certainly not as like memorable as the other one. Like there are some that are memorable. Like I'm gonna just bring up the list of episodes.
Well, they have the episode guide in the book.
They do, but I don't want to have to flip through the pages each time.
That's fair.
So I'd rather just bring up a list on my phone to make it easier to see.
Okay.
There is a specific episode near the end that I really enjoyed, and I can't remember what it is.
Is it the one with the plane?
Yes, it is the one with the plane.
Yeah, the one with the plane where they get lost.
And there's a giant walrus in the sky.
Yeah, that was great. That was the fourth to last episode, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And then the one immediately after that. Well, we'll go into the episodes in detail. I'll talk about
the disappearance of Flight 206.
There you go.
That's
yeah.
the second to last episode.
Well, let me go down the list of episodes that really stuck with me.
Okay, I know there's one. I know there's one. Are you gonna start off with that one, or are you gonna ramp up to it?
You know what? I don't know. Maybe we'll
because that's episode 9.
Okay, I'll talk about that one last.
Okay, all right.
Because that one was a doozy for me. Okay.
So I think we should talk about the first episode because the first episode's like the one that's like the most well known because it was the first ever Ultra episode, and also it has not Godzilla in it.
Yeah, so that one.
So episode 1 is Defeat Gomez.
Yep.
Gomez has made various appearances in other Ultra series. He was in the premiere episode of Ultraman Z last year, and the suit looked really, really good, by the way. But the thing with Gomez. So the thing with Ultraman in general is that a lot of the monsters the suits are recycled from other suits.
I knew this already.
Yes, and right off the bat, we have Gomez and Litra. Litra is more of a puppet, but there are some shots where they reuse a Rodan puppet for him. But Gomez specifically is recycled from the 1965 Invasion of Astro Monster Godzilla suit.
I did know that.
So we have a little Godzilla cameo in Ultra Q.
I was like, hey, it's Godzilla, but not.
Yeah, just wait till you watch Ultraman, dude.
I know.
Like when you see Jiras, Jiras is literally the 65 Godzilla suit, but they put like a frill around his neck.
I have seen pictures.
You've seen Jiras, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna watch those shows now.
Yeah, I can lend you my copy of Ultraman.
Well, I'm moving away rather soon, so you'll definitely never get them back.
I guess you'll have to buy them all then.
You're right. I probably am.
You're already going to buy Ultra Q.
Yeah.
You may as well buy the other ones.
Do they all come in a set together?
No.
Oh, well. Okay. Well, it looks like I'll buy them separately.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that first episode, hot take, honestly, kind of forgettable.
Yeah, so when I already owned a copy of Ultra Q before Mill Creek put their set out because before Shout Factory had the rights to a lot of the Ultraman series. I think they had Ultra Q, Ultraman, and Ultra 7. I think it's just those 3. And I had bought Ultra Q, and I don't know what it was. I couldn't get into it. I watched like the first disc and a half, and it just was not clicking with me. I don't know why, but then as soon as Mill Creek started putting their sets out, I'm like, oh, I'll watch it and again give it a, give it another chance. And like second episode in, I was like, I get it now. Like this is like immediately, like I'm loving the hell out of this. I don't know what it was. I don't know what mental block had kept me from not enjoying this series, but it was gone, whatever it was.
Yeah. No, I just felt like for me, the first episode was just the most like generic. Mm-hmm. I was just like, eh.
Well, I feel like that may have been
it was on purpose. It was on purpose for sure.
Because like they don't start getting more weird until a couple episodes in.
Oh, I loved it when it got weird.
Episode 6.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that one because that was the one that really. Ooh. Episode 6 is the one that really got me like, oh, what on earth is this show?
I have to take the book out because I have to remember everything.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Because I blitzed through, well, not blitzed, but I watched the whole show in an entire week, and my schedule is somewhat sporadic. Mm-hmm. So I have to look through everything here.
That's okay. That's all right. But yeah, and then episode 2 we have Not Kong, because Goro is a recycled King Kong suit from King Kong versus Godzilla, and all they did was they put a tail on him. But I really like that episode because it's just that there's this dude. His name is Goro. He has a pet monkey named Goro, and Goro the monkey eats some seeds, I think, and the monkey gets big.
Yeah. No, honestly.
And then they put him to sleep by having him drink warm milk.
I was so like taken aback by just like how much it was like, this is King Kong but with a tail.
And and
then it took all the same like sort of same story beats and just put it in like kind of like gender reversed the characters a bit. It's pretty good though. If I hold on, let me just. Okay, so the third episode.
Oh boy, is the gift from space.
Is the first one that scarred me. There's a thing that falls out of the sky, and then her name's Yuriko.
Yuriko, yep.
She notices it and then shows the main like kind of gruff pilot dude. What's his name? Jun. And then they're like, "Wow, what's that?" And then they take it, and it's like stuff sent from aliens, I guess. And then there's these two like weird.
You know when like every so often NASA will send out like a record into space for aliens to find. It's the same basic concept.
Yeah, but then basically there's some stuff in there and they don't know what it is. But then they find these two weird like golden egg things, and then some bad guys steal it, and then one of them hatches into this giant nightmare-inducing slug thing, and it is probably one of the worst things up until episode 9 I had ever seen in my entire life.
I gotta bring up, because I was texting Jared about this when I was giving him kind of a play-by-play when you were texting me about it. Let me see what I said to him, because I gave him these. Yeah, Namagon, which is the name of the slug creature.
Okay.
Namagon is the most horrifying thing I've ever laid eyes on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I just said to Jared, it's good to know he's enjoying it.
Yeah, no, they are. It made this horrible noise, and then it had these just giant eyes. And it shot laser beams, and it was just disgusting. I hated it. Good episode. It was really scary.
Yeah, I can't remember. I want to say this is the case. Do they defeat Namagon by pouring salt on him?
I don't think so.
I could have sworn.
I think they ran it into the ocean, which killed it because of the salt.
Because of the salt. So basically the same.
Yeah,
thing.
And then I think they did the same thing for the second one.
Yeah,
or something like that. I think they were just like, they didn't kill it on screen, but they said that they were going to or something. I don't remember. But I hate those things a lot. They were really well done and disgusting.
Hey, that's Eiji Tsuburaya, man.
Yeah. But I think that was right around where I was just like, I like really got into it, because I was like, stuff that makes me have like an adverse reaction like that, I'm like, I'm on board with it.
Yeah.
So I was excited after this. I was like, let's go. This is like, we're out of kind of like generic territory.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a feeling that the first couple episodes were kind of just there for your average.
Yeah, like people who are more just used to just Godzilla at that point.
It was more like proof of concept kind of stuff to kind of get people on board, and then the show definitely gets weirder as time goes on.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I really enjoyed, because it was a treat. It was a treat. Okay.
So let's talk about episode 4, Mammoth Flower, because I know I mentioned this to you. You haven't really seen Gamera 2, Advent of Legion for a while, but Mammoth Flower, the episode of Ultra Q, was directly referenced in Gamera 2, Advent of Legion, because the whole thing in Ultra Q is that there's a giant alien flower that sprouts up.
Which was really cool.
Yeah, and then the whole thing in Gamera 2, how the Legion reproduce, is a giant flower erupts in the middle of the city, and the pod launches into space. And you look at the two flowers side by side; they're almost 1-to-1. And I don't know if it was Shusuke Kaneko himself, but the creators of Gamera 2 have talked about how that episode was a direct inspiration for the film. And, you know, Gamera 2 is a damn good movie. And
I think I watched that with you, right?
Yeah, we watched all three of them, but that was years and years and years ago.
It was a long time ago.
It was, and now you own the movies.
I do own the movies,
you should watch them again.
So I'm definitely gonna, after Evangelion, I'll probably watch them.
Yeah. So I just wanted to.
Oh, spoiler for next episode, I guess.
Shh, it's okay. That's a good thing because our anime episodes get a lot of plays.
It's true. So you anime fans better get your friends out here.
Yeah.
I guess weirdos.
All right. Can we talk about episode 6?
Well, what about episode 5 with Pagula?
Pagila. Pagila's cool.
Yeah, he is pretty cool.
He's one. I think he's one of the more interesting designs.
Yeah,
because he's kind of like Rodan, but he's got a walrus head.
Oh, you know what? There was one specific thing I wanted to talk about, and this also has to do with the second episode that he shows up. I really like how he travels, or it's just like a ball of smoke, or like black clouds in the sky. I think that is really gloriously ominous. It's really cool.
The second episode you're talking about, Tokyo Ice Age.
Yeah,
that's the one Jared mentioned that he had on the on his little black and white TV in that short he did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had that plan.
No, that was also a really good episode.
Yeah.
So I mean, Pagula was pretty good. I think out of like the big monster designs, I think he was probably my favorite.
Yeah. I think he's definitely one of the.
He was like probably the most out there one, aside from the stupid slug.
Oh, I don't know if he's the most out there one.
Not out there, but like most like. I don't know what the word, like familiar, but also just not like different. I don't know. I know you don't follow. I liked it.
Okay.
That's I liked it.
Okay.
Here we go. Because it was like Godzilla, but not.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's cool. It's a cool variation, or
all
whatever.
Right, so should we talk about Grow Up Little Turtle?
Yeah, this one really
was a goddamn trip.
This one really threw me for a loop.
Yeah, it's certainly the most out there episode up to that point because I don't remember, but I don't really think Jun, Ippei, and Yuriko really have much to do in the episode. It's really just following the kid.
They kind of just follow him around and try to get him back from these really incompetent bank robbers.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's like these guys that rob a bank and they have like guns and stuff and they like steal this kid's turtle.
Yeah, but then he's like having a goddamn acid trip on this, riding on a giant turtle, and then Manda shows up, but it's not Manda.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was. I saw it. I was like, hey, it's Manda.
That's actually Manda. I don't think they didn't really do anything to his puppet. It's literally just Manda.
It's just Manda.
It's called the Kai Dragon, but it's just Manda visually.
Yeah, I honestly don't even know how to explain this episode. It's just like this kid that really loves turtles.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, this turtle's going to bring me to the dragon's palace.
Yep.
And then he keeps feeding it and stuff.
And it gets bigger.
And then his teacher's like, stop it. And then takes the turtle away. And then the turtle somehow ends up in the hands of these bank robbers. So the kid follows them, even though they're clearly armed.
Yeah.
And then these bank robbers get KO'd by this stupid big turtle.
Well, so here's the thing. This came out in 1966, the year after the original Gamera was released.
Okay.
And you've seen the original Gamera. You know that the kid in that movie was obsessed with turtles to the point where he risked his life multiple times to try and save Gamera.
Yep. So
I think there's something going on. I like turtles in Japan. There must be something. People must love turtles in Japan.
Oh my God. Is Grow Up Little Turtle the first shitpost in history?
I don't know it's the first shitpost in history, but it's definitely a shitpost.
It's for sure a shitpost.
And I mean that with nothing but love in my heart for that episode.
No, this episode is great.
Yeah, no, it was
like I watched it and I was just bewildered for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that was definitely the first episode of the show that I was like, what am I watching right now? I think the next episode we should talk about is the one with the big mole.
The big mole.
I love the big mole.
Which one is that again?
The episode name or the monster name?
Both.
The episode is Terror of the Sweet Honey. The monster is Mongular.
Okay, yeah. I don't actually remember this one too well.
There's some honey, and it's the dude's using it for, it's like genetically modified stuff, GMOs, and then the mole eats it, and it becomes a big mole.
Oh yeah, but he like kind of did it out of revenge or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, now I remember it. Yeah.
I just like Mongular. He's cute.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't.
He was just trying to live his life.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of the episodes in this series specifically. Like there's some in other Ultra series, but Ultra Q specifically, I feel like has a lot of those episodes.
Yeah. Where there was just the monster just trying to live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cough, cough, cough. The Gomora 2-parter in Ultraman. Gomora did nothing wrong.
Mongular. Mongular was just trying to just have a good time, and he dug straight into a volcano.
Yeah.
What? Why?
I don't know, man. He's a mole. He can't see.
It was so sad. I was like, oh no. That poor guy. Why?
All right, Brian. You know what the next episode is?
We're gonna skip it.
Oh yeah, you want to do that one last?
We're gonna talk about it last because it was the episode that. Yeah, I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Okay. Episode 10.
Oh my god, I love episode. M1 is one hell of a creature.
Episode 10 was another one of those episodes that I watched and I was just bewildered for basically the whole time.
Yeah.
Like less so.
So
but
episode 10 is called The Underground Super Express Goes West.
Yeah, so this episode centers around a train that goes super fast.
Yes. And there just so happens to be an artificially created creature on it called M1 that looks kind of horrifying for one.
But the reason it's supposed to be kept in like this container, or else it'll like continuously grow or something. I think that's how they framed it, which is a very cool concept. But when it did get out and it did grow, it turned into this horrible thing. Humanoid.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe what he is.
He's got a big frown.
He's got a big frown. And then he goes to the end of the train and launches himself into space.
Yeah, he like cowboy rides it.
Yeah, and he speaks at the end of the episode too.
Yeah.
What does he say? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It's something
either.
weird and cryptic that makes no sense.
The kid also. Did the kid die?
I don't think the kid died.
No.
No, they wouldn't kill
I don't know.
someone
All I
off.
remember was that there was like that really incompetent train conductor, and he was just like having a terrible time.
I mean, can you blame him?
They were just like, "How are we gonna save the kid?" Because they detached the main the main train engine part from the rest of the train. So then the main driver's thing is like going out of control. So they try to stop it by making it smash into something, and they realize that one of the kids is still on there. And then they're like, how are we going to save this kid? And then the guy doesn't remember how, or like he doesn't know how. But then it turns out that there's like a safe that's like resistant to everything in there.
Yeah.
And he just forgot about it. And then after the train crashes, he's just like, oh, that's right. There's a safe that's explosion and shock resistant. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, who pays you?
Who pays you? But they actually brought M1 back in Ultraman Z as well, and he was like the main focus of the episode, unlike Gomez.
Oh my God.
And I can't remember how did it go. Like, it was one of the main, not one of the main characters, one of the supporting characters' daughters created him, and like people were trying to kidnap him to just make more of, I guess. And then
why would you want more of him?
I don't know. And then he gets big and goes on a rampage, and Ultraman has to stop him. But he's a nice monster, so they don't kill him outright. They make him back small, and he's a good guy again.
Okay,
it's a good episode.
All right. Well, I'm sure when I see him again, I'll be like, why am I looking at him?
Why am I looking at him?
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about next?
Oh, you know what? I wanted to talk about Balloonga.
Balloonga's a interesting
Balloonga
episode.
is another episode that
Balloonga's kind of horrifying when you think about it.
Yeah, no, Balloonga was another one of those episodes that scared me.
It's like a space fungus, right?
It's like I don't know how, they never really described it. So it was like really Lovecraftian. It just like kind of came out of space.
Yeah.
And then like
it attached itself to a returning shuttle.
Yeah.
And
the shuttle crashed.
Yeah, the shuttle crashes in the ocean, and it just kind of...
It just shows up.
And then it just gets bigger and bigger. And apparently there's some... It's not not the first time Beluga's shown up.
No.
And there's some guy who everyone thought was dead, but he's still alive and trying to make sure Beluga doesn't come back or something.
He was the father of the astronaut that died on the spaceship that crashed.
Right.
And then he was just like, well, it's a sign from God or something. Or it's like he said it was God's warning, I guess. I'm not kidding.
What is this, Shin Godzilla?
And so then Beluga just gets really big, and like they have to turn off all the power and stuff, or else it'll just keep getting larger.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who said it. I think it was probably the main dude.
Jun.
Not Jun, but the guy that we just talked about, like the old guy.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
He said that Beluga could like encapsulate the entire Earth, and I'm just like, my God.
Yeah, the show definitely goes into some horror places.
I was like, oh my God, I don't even want to think about it. Like, why? But then at the end of the episode, I guess, I don't really remember why. I think there was like a typhoon or something, and then Beluga just kind of leaves.
Yeah.
He just kind of leaves.
He just leaves.
Because I think he said that like the scientist dude was like Beluga's main food source is like the sun or something, so he just left.
Yeah. Because he was like blotting out the sun, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah. So that episode was creepy. I wouldn't say it was like terrifying, like other episodes, like another episode we're gonna talk about at the end. But it was definitely one of those like kind of just horrifying.
Yeah, and that's what I like about Ultra Q more than some of the other Ultraman series is that it's because it's not centered around like a hero character. It's more flexible with its tone and genre.
It definitely kind of went all over the place with the episodes in terms of like there are some that are just like straight up horror, and then there are some that are like pretty cool sci-fi, which is actually another one I wanted to talk about. But we'll get there.
Garadama, perhaps?
Yeah,
because I don't know if you've seen my shirt.
Yeah.
I have Garamon on my shirt.
I actually want that shirt.
I don't know if they still exist.
That sucks.
It says only kaiju vinyl is real, and it's got Garamon in there. But yeah, I think Garamon is probably the most out there design in terms of kaiju in this show. Because like what is he?
I don't know. He's a robot.
He is a robot. That's right.
He's a robot.
I forgot about that.
So the whole point, or not the point, I guess the story of the episode is that there's
asteroids falling all around.
Falling around. There's like a small one that turns out to be like a brain.
Like a control center for them.
Which I was thinking about it. Why'd they send the control center down with like no one to guard it?
I don't know. Maybe they anticipated Garamon guarding it.
Maybe they just didn't think that humans were smart enough to know what it was.
I mean, can you blame them?
No. And so then after that, a really big asteroid comes down and hits a lake and traumatizes two poor women and kills one guy on a boat.
Yep.
I'm assuming because you never see him again. And he screamed real loud, which usually means that they died.
Yeah, typically.
And then I guess they like find a way to block the radio waves, and then it turns
Garamon.
Garamon. It turns him off.
Yeah.
And then he dies, I assume. And then later he actually shows back up for Garamon Strikes Back.
Yes.
Where there's like 4 of them. And I was super excited about it because they're the most like goofy monster I've ever seen.
They really are.
They just hop around.
Yeah, and he's got those like weird little like short hand, like almost T-Rex kind of hands, but they're like really weird and skeletal.
Well, because like if he moves them, then they could be really long, like human arms. But he doesn't. He just has them up like a chicken, like chicken wings.
I think the texture of his skin. I think it's supposed to be fur. I can't confirm that though.
Probably, I'm not sure.
Because I remember seeing like a quote unquote discourse about what that texture was supposed to be. And I think it is supposed to be fur, but like Mongular is also furry and he didn't look like that.
No.
So I don't really know.
But no, it's very strange. Like the first time I saw him, my first reaction was, what the fuck is that? But then my second reaction was just like, this monster isn't really doing a whole lot.
Yeah, he's just kind of like waddling around. Because he does waddle. He walks very quickly.
Yeah, he waddles around.
He walks like Mr. Krabs.
No, he does. He waddles around like Mr. Krabs, and then sometimes he like hops, and then sometimes he does this.
His little hand thing.
He does like he flops his hand around really fast, and then like sometimes he hits a building.
Sometimes.
And then I'm pretty sure the only thing he destroys, like not being an asteroid, because as an asteroid he destroyed a lake, but as himself, the only thing he destroyed in the first episode he showed up in was a dam, and he basically headbutted through it, which was hilarious.
We're not really sure if that was intentional on Garumon's part.
I think it was by accident because
probably
because I counted it and he tripped like 4 times in both episodes that he showed up in. So definitely one of the clumsier of the monsters showing up. But yeah, I think that he might have been the most entertaining thing in the show. And
he, quote unquote, shows up in Ultraman. They reuse the suit for another monster called Pigmon.
Okay.
Who I think I've mentioned on the show before.
Probably.
Yeah, I definitely did. I don't remember what context it was in though, but he's like a human-sized monster.
Is he friendly?
He is friendly.
Yeah. You definitely brought him
he's
up.
a friendly little guy.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Kanagon's Cocoon.
Okay, yeah, that
Kanagon is another way out there episode.
I thought that the episode was absolutely adorable.
It's adorable, but at the same time, it's kind of horrifying.
Oh, it's horrifying, but it was adorable.
So Kanagon's Cocoon, which might be my favorite episode of the series, it revolves around this kid he's very greedy.
Yep.
He likes money.
And you get the sense that he kind of picked it up from his parents.
Yeah. And so he found something that he thought was money.
Yep.
But then it wasn't money. And it transformed him into this horrifying creature that has a coin purse for a head called Kanagon.
And an alien body.
Yeah.
And a tail that was described by his father as like Godzilla's tail.
That's right, I remember that.
Which I was like, whoa, Godzilla exists?
Godzilla name dropped.
Godzilla exists in this universe as a movie or as a real monster?
I don't know. But yeah, and he to survive, his friends have to keep feeding him money. He eats money.
And then he goes to scare another poor woman, and then she drops all this fucking money and he just eats it.
And I think one of the more horrifying things, he has a counter on his chest.
Yeah.
And if it reaches 0, he dies.
Well, he starves to death.
Yeah.
Because it reaches 0, but he doesn't die immediately. So he starts starving. But like, I felt really bad because this kid was just like struggling the entire show and he sounded like just in anguish and I felt so bad.
Yeah. It's a episode. It was an episode.
I had a great time watching it. Yeah, and the end of the episode, the reveal was it put a damper on how, because I thought the show was like a learning experience, but then his parents turn into these monsters too because they both steal money.
That's right.
And I'm just like, oh no, this poor child. Oh no.
Well, it's still a learning experience. Like, don't be a greedy fuck.
I know, but now this kid who is probably not even double digits now has parents that are these horrible monsters.
I mean, that's fair.
So, yeah, that was a great episode. I had a great time watching that. Yeah. What episode next?
I don't know. Should we talk about challenge from the year 2020, considering 2020 was last year?
Oh, you know what? I do want to mention the 1/8 project.
That's an episode.
The 1/8 project is literally just that movie with that came out a couple of years ago.
If you are talking about downsizing with who was it? Matt Damon?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was just like, it's the same concept.
Wow.
It's
downsizing with Matt Damon.
So downsizing ripped off 1/8 project. We should watch it.
Honestly, it's because I think
we should watch it and see if there's any references to 1/8 project.
It's not the Coen brothers, but I think it was originally a script by the Coen brothers.
Okay. I could see it.
Yeah. So I want, and you know, the Coen brothers, with how out there some of their movies are, I wouldn't be surprised if they had like seen Ultra Q and like did something with that.
Yeah, I kind of at this point want to watch it to see if there's any like weird references.
Really bad though.
I have heard it's bad, but I've seen some bad movies before.
Yeah. I have no interest in watching Downsizing with Matt Damon.
Full disclosure to the audience, Dave and I both sat through all of Skyline. I think twice.
No, not yet. Not yet. I know we've talked about watching it drunk.
I think I might have watched it drunk.
Why?
I don't know.
Without me?
I think I might have. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember. Oh, maybe it was the second one.
I still haven't seen the second one.
I don't remember.
Skylines. Or no, that's Beyond Skylines. Skylines is the third one.
Yeah.
Because it's spelled with a 3 in the instead of an E.
So original.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's all I really wanted to mention, other than it was a really really sad episode.
Yeah, and then it ends up being all a dream, too.
Yeah.
Like, she got a concussion.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was kind of a downer episode until the end, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But yeah, we can talk about Challenge from the year 2020 because I was actually super excited to watch it.
It's weird because I remember seeing the entirety of Challenge from the year 2020, but when I first started watching Ultra Q, when I had that Shout Factory release, I never got past like the second disc, and this is like episode 19, so I don't know when I would have watched this episode. Mm-hmm. It's possible because I know Shout Factory used to run like online Ultraman marathons on like streaming. So it may have been that. I don't remember. But Cameraman is an interesting creature.
Where have I seen him from?
I don't know. Oh, because they reuse the Kemmer for Alien Zetten in Ultraman. And then in the Ultraman anime, they have an Alien Zetten as the head of the SSSP.
That's who
Yes.
because I've seen that show.
Literally, when they reused him in Ultraman for Alien Zetten, you know what they did?
What?
They took the eye off of the cameraman suit, rotated the head a little bit, and stuck the eye back on.
Wow. Okay.
So his head's just at a different angle, but it's the exact same design.
Okay.
So that is where you have seen the cameraman.
Well, I thought it was a really good episode.
It's also one that's a little bit horrifying,
very horrifying,
because he uses some weird goop to transport people to a different dimension.
Yep. Well, yeah, it was a pretty spooky episode because you had him making people disappear. You had people getting transported to a different dimension through goop, which was gross.
Yep.
The end of the episode, actually, some dude just steps in a puddle and he disappears, and that was the end of the episode. I was like, oh no.
So, rest in peace, that guy.
And but there was a part in the episode where he got really big.
Yes.
And I don't really get why.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know that I'm not alone. I thought I missed something.
Yeah, I don't really remember it either. I do know that they also brought Kemmer back in Ultraman Z because Ultraman Z aired in 2020, so they did kind of a follow-up to this episode.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I don't really remember much about that episode, though.
It's pretty cool, though.
Oh, well.
But yeah, I mean, 2020. Hooray.
Yeah, I mean, that episode title, that's pretty apt. 2020 was a challenge, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yep, 2020. Yeah. All right. Well, kind of getting to the episodes that I started kind of just not really.
I mean, I really like Undersea Humanoid Ragon because that's basically just, Creature from the Black Lagoon through the lens of Tokusatsu.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I did enjoy that one. It did definitely seem just kind of like classic monster kind of vibe. And same with the suit design, too.
Yeah, and they brought Ragon back a couple times. They bring Ragon back as a giant monster in Ultraman. Mm-hmm. And in Ultraman Orb, they had a really good episode with Ragon where, like, this fish merchant, like, he just has two Ragons living with him, like a mother and a daughter? I don't know. But he just has two Ragons living with him, and like
just chilling.
Yeah, and he's trying to hide them because they're monsters, and people are prejudiced against monsters, obviously.
True.
And then Gubira, I think, who shows up in Ultraman, comes out and he's looking for seafood, and he tries to eat Ragon, and they're like, no, don't eat the Ragon. They're my friends. And then Ultraman has to stop Gabira from eating Ragon. And it's a really nice episode.
That's good.
I think that was one of my favorite episodes of Ultraman Orb.
Okay. Again, I'm going to have to watch all these.
Yes, absolutely. But no, that Ragon episode is really good. It absolutely is like kind of classic universal horror through the lens of 60s tokusatsu, which is...
And it worked
yeah,
good.
absolutely.
Yeah. Actually, the next episode, I really only want to mention it for one thing.
Okay.
Episode 21 is Space Directive M774, where...
I don't even remember that one.
There's like this alien lady that kind of comes to Earth, or like sends a warning to Earth about this monster called Bostang.
Oh, right.
And then she's just like, well, you guys won't believe me, so I'll come down to Earth myself. And then she comes down to Earth and she turns into a human.
Yeah, and Bostang's like a...
Bostang is...
He's like a manta ray, right?
He's literally just a big manta ray.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow.
And fun fact, that was not actually the original monster that was going to be in
I had a feeling, because I was like, that is a very disappointing design.
Well, here's the thing, because the original design is basically the same thing, just a different name.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Let me bring this up.
Because I saw it and I was just like, I
Where
mean, like,
is
I
it?
like manta rays, but that's just kind of disappointing.
Can I have a link to it, please?
Feels like Bostang can't really go on land.
No.
So he's not really that dangerous to humans.
Oh my god, why is not... Okay, I gotta open up a new tab here. I have too many tabs open. The original name was going to be Clapton.
Oh, no.
Okay, I googled Clapton, and I don't know why I expected anything other than getting results for Eric Clapton. Let's put Clapton Ultra Q. That might be a little better. Here we go. Yeah, so this is what Clapton looked like originally. It looks a little more like a horseshoe crab.
Okay. I do like that design better.
Yeah,
though. That looks better.
Yeah, so that was from an unaired episode. I think the episode was completed, just wasn't... it just never aired. I don't really know why, but... Yeah.
Oh, well. I mean, it was a pretty cookie cutter episode.
Yeah, but it is fun, because the whole thing like takes place on a cruise ship, right?
It takes place on...
like a ship.
On like a cruise ship, and then they go back on a military vessel to go look for it. Mm-hmm. You know, it was a pretty cool episode. At the end of the episode, like the alien that was there to help kind of just stays on Earth. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then like the whole end of the episode was kind of like a Men in Black kind of ending, where it's just like, that person's an alien. The person next to you might be an alien. All these people are aliens that finished their job and live on Earth now.
All right, so here's what I'm hearing. We need to do an Ultra Q movie, and it needs to star Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. Glad we're on the same page.
We are on the same page.
And we need to get Kenji Sahara as well. And I assume the other two actors, Yasuhiko Saiju and Hiroko Sakurai, are Hiroko Sakurai I know is still alive, because she just did a convention appearance. So I assume Saijo is also still alive, so we need to get them. I just want the cast of Men in Black and the cast of Ultra Q to do a movie together. That's all I want, man.
The crossover that does it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think really the only other episode I really want to talk about is...
I want to talk about Metamorphosis, or it's just Big Guy.
Big Guy. That's right.
Metamorphosis is, there's like this guy and this lady. I don't know.
He just, didn't he just like get lost in the woods or something?
He got lost in the woods, and then like these butterflies like sprayed him with some kind of thing, and then he got really big.
Oh.
And
okay.
then his at the time girlfriend, I'm guessing, like left him because she was so scared. And then she was
too big.
And then she just thought he died. But then like people were just like, we're seeing a squash.
I mean, listen, Brian, can you blame it? Like if Allie all of a sudden turned big, wouldn't you be scared?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I'd be like, what did you do, Allie?
I'd be like, oh, you're too big.
What did you do to get yourself into this situation?
And listen.
She is in the woods right now.
Oh. That ain't good.
She's in the woods off the grid. Maybe she'll come back.
Listen, we don't kink shame here on Talking Toku. If you have a giant test fetish, that more power to you, man. But that ain't for me. I don't know if that is it for you. I'm not going to ask. But personally, that ain't for me. So I would be terrified.
But Dave, you are the host for a kaiju-centered podcast.
Yeah? That doesn't mean I have a giantess fetish.
I don't know, but it shows that you have an increased chance over the co-host because you're hosting it.
Let's move on.
There you go.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Ruined your night.
This rain ruined my night, man.
Honestly, yeah. I don't really want to talk about any of the other ones except for mentioning the Devil Child and then the disappearance of Flight 206. I just want to say that the Devil Child is literally just like the Omen.
I've never seen the Omen.
You have? Okay.
I mean, I know the general plot of the Omen.
The Devil Child, not the Omen. Devil Child, the episode of Ultra Q. It's pretty creepy. Mm-hmm. There's like this pretty cute kid, but then it's also like murderous. She can like astral project, I guess, and it just basically just causes people to fucking die, I guess. And then this ghost of her like takes stuff, but they're like not the same. Like the actual kid is not doesn't share the same intentions as the ghost. Mm-hmm. It's really weird. It's pretty cool, but it's not really like, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things you have to watch. I don't know. It's weird. It's like hard to explain. Like the episode is basically them just trying to like join the ghost and the girl back together, I guess, so that the ghost doesn't cause any havoc. It's pretty sad though, because like a lot of people just straight up die. This show just has a lot of people just dying, and I honestly didn't expect it.
It's a lot less kid friendly than the shows that come after it. I mean, Ultra 7 is a little darker, and from what I've heard, Ultraman Leo is also very dark, but again, I've only watched the first disc of Ultra. I said Leo, right, just now? Okay, just making sure. Ultraman Leo, I've heard, is very dark, but I haven't gotten too far into it. We kind of already talked about the disappearance of Flight 206, so do you want to talk about the big one?
Well, I mean, did you want to mention it? Because it is your favorite, I think you said.
No. My favorite was, what the hell was it?
Oh, the,
Kanagon.
Yeah. Okay.
Brian, I think it's time. We got to talk about the big one.
It's time. Talking about episode 9?
Yeah. So, Brian texted me about this. He said he was traumatized. That I think it was the only episode he watched that day, and he had to stop watching immediately afterwards because he was mentally not okay.
Yeah, I have the text message that I can read to the audience.
Please do.
Let me see here. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. Okay, so I found the text, and I said, and I quote, "Oh, fuck that. I'm on the Big Spider episode. Fuck that. Oh my God, I hate it so much, Dave. I'm in distress." The later half of that were all in large, big caps, sent over the course of a couple minutes. So I guess we'll just talk about the episode.
Yeah.
I'll just do a brief overview. I'll do a brief overview, and then I'll talk about
go for it.
I'll talk about the part that creeped me out the most.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, the whole episode is very creepy. It's your kind of basic haunted house story.
Yeah.
And it's again, yeah, like I said, it's basic kind of haunted house story, but it's got these two big boy spiders.
Big boy spiders, yep. So you got the main characters plus two other people that I honestly don't remember who they are. And they are going, I want to say that they're
coming home from a party.
Coming home from a party. Okay. I don't know why I thought they were camping, but whatever. Anyways, so then you got Ipe and then the other guy, and they fall into some water, and they get really sick or something.
As you do if you fall into a swamp.
Yep, as you do. And then they are just like, oh no, these guys are really sick. We need to care for them or something.
And then luckily, there's a big mansion right nearby.
There's
How convenient.
A big ominous mansion that they break into after ringing the doorbell over and over again. And they go in, and it's a big mansion.
Ooh.
Like Resident Evil
and
mansion.
There's spider webs everywhere.
Yep, very clear spider webs everywhere covering the place. And so they sit down, and they put a blanket over the people that are sick, and then they start exploring, as you do.
And Jun's like, hey, remember that story about that guy whose daughter was bitten by a spider and then she died and came back to life as a giant spider?
Yeah.
That's cool. And everyone was like, Jun, what the fuck? Why would you say that?
He was just like, well, I think that's this house. Telling from the spider webs literally everywhere.
Yeah.
So then after that great story by Dearest Jun, the crew that is not sick starts to explore the house, happening across some creepy sights that include spiders. A lot of them.
There's only like 2 of them, right?
2 of them. It's too many.
That's fair.
And they're very large.
They are large.
And for a while, you kind of just get these shots of like the, I think it's Jun and the other guy that I don't remember his name, and you see the spiders like stalking them, and it's really creepy.
They have a bunch of POV shots of the spiders, right?
Yeah. The way that they got these spiders to move was very convincing and really freaking creepy.
I assume I'm pretty sure this is very similar to how they did Kumanga in the Godzilla franchise.
Probably, but the way that I guess the way that they did it, and just because it's like on a smaller kind of scale, it just looked a lot creepier to me. Like Kumanga does not scare me in the slightest, but something about these spiders, the way that they moved, the way that they sounded, I did not like it.
Didn't like it.
Nope. And so, you go through the episode, they get attacked by spiders. No one dies, which surprisingly. And then the spiders start making their way towards the sick people. And at this point, I was just like, oh no. And there's a shot of one of the spiders descending from the ceiling. And it was crawling towards the couch that FA was on, and I was just like freaking out. I'm like, I hate this so much, because I was, full disclosure, I was sitting on my bed.
Oh no!
In the dark.
Oh no!
And I was like, oh my god! I turned my lights on. I'm not even kidding. I turned my lights on. I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. But that's kind of, and then they leave. I think they kill one of the spiders in the mansion.
And then they run over the other one as they're leaving.
And then they run over the other one. And that also creeped me out, because they ran over its legs. So it was just kind of like flailing.
Yeah, I was like trying to limp along.
Yeah.
Less than 8 legs.
And I was just like, man, the way that they're making this thing move is impressive, but also really, really creepy. Like, I hated it. Fuck you guys for doing your job so well. Yeah, so the episode was just, something about it just creeped me out so much, just like on a different level. And I'm not even like arachnophobic. Like, I don't mind spiders.
Yeah.
If anything, if I see a spider in my room, I'm just like, hey buddy, just stay over there, don't crawl on me. And I'm okay with it. But I have, like, for stuff that's like large, like, like larger than I feel like it's supposed to be. So like, I guess, yeah, maybe like tarantulas, but tarantulas are kind of
any spider in Australia.
Yeah, basically any spider in Australia. They just creep me, like, they creep me out, not because they're spiders, but because they're just big.
Yeah.
They're big. And then there's another little piece of background is, there was one story that Ken, my late stepfather, told me about, where he took a trip to Texas.
Oh no.
And they have pretty large spiders down there. And there was this one story he told me that has stuck with me the entire time after he's told me about it.
Did his friend fall in a swamp and they had to go into a mansion?
No.
And he encountered 2 big spiders?
It is much less fantastical than that. But basically, he was off taking pictures somewhere with his, I think it was his MP unit or something. And he heard a spider fall. It was that big.
Oh my god, I don't like that.
So
I don't like that at all.
He was doing some photography and he just heard a spider fall off a tree.
I don't like that.
And he heard the thump when it hit the ground.
Oh, I don't like that.
And just something about that story, it just stuck with me. So in terms of like sound design for like bugs and arachnids, stuff like that just creeps me out. So that's
understandable.
This episode, they use like a punching bag noise when when the spider hits somebody or when it touches the ground, and every time it just reminded me of that fucking story. So it just added this extra layer of just like, oh my god,
Yikes.
no. And again, like that in conjunction with how they made the spider move, I just could not deal with it. And I texted you and I was just like, I need to stop.
Yeah.
And so then after it was over, I turned it off and I'm just like, I'm gonna go play a game and then I'm going to bed because that was horrifying. Yeah. So
oh boy.
I'm pretty sure that is it. If I had watched that as a kid, that would be one of those like childhood trauma episodes that like everyone has.
Well, it's a good thing you watched it when you were 23.
Yeah, but the problem is that now it's just an adult trauma because I'm traumatized by it. So, I mean, if you guys have Ultra Q and you want a good Halloween episode, watch that.
Yeah, I mean, just watch Ultra Q in general because it's a phenomenal show.
Yeah, it's very sci-fi. It's very good. Very, very horror, sci-fi, everything.
Yeah, and you know, we talked earlier about the Twilight Zone comparison, and they even have like their own kind of Rod Serling character narrator.
They do.
You know, every episode opens with, for the next 30 minutes, your eyes will leave your body and arrive in this strange moment in time. Like, that's just the Twilight Zone.
That's Twilight Zone.
That's the Twilight Zone. You know, and who doesn't like the Twilight Zone? I've not met a single person who disliked the Twilight Zone.
Same. There's some episodes that don't land, but
no,
I mean,
but that's every TV show ever.
Yeah, most of it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that episode traumatized me, and yeah, I mean the show is pretty good. I really enjoyed the main like title music.
Yeah, oh yeah,
that very catchy.
It's very different from from the Ultraman shows because those are actual theme songs, but like the Ultra Q theme is just like this kind of jazzy lick.
Yeah,
that we talked about last time. Cosmic Monster, the guy who did the music and all the sound design for Ultraman Sword vs. Godzilla, he did a cover of that theme that I will send to you later.
That's great because I really enjoyed listening to it. And usually I kind of skip through.
Every so often it'll get stuck in my head because it is like really catchy, like. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
It is very good stuff. If you ever get a chance to watch it, definitely watch it.
Yeah, and I think it is technically streaming, but it's on Movie Spree, so it's some weird streaming service that nobody actually uses.
Yeah.
I mean, my friend uses it, but that's only because she grew up watching Ultraman Tiga, and I've just given her the digital codes that come with these releases so she can watch more Ultraman. That's the only reason why she uses it, is because of the Ultraman stuff.
Well, that's a good gig, I guess. Yeah.
Because Lord knows I'm not going to use any digital codes.
I just remember that
physical media forever.
I remember that there was a weird moment in time not long ago where people would ask to trade like digital download codes for movies. And what a weird bygone era that was.
I would just give them to people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even trade them. I'd just give them because, like, I'm not going to use them. And be like, hey, does anyone want my digital copy of Jurassic World?
I remember I had a couple people ask me for my digital code of Godzilla 2014. And I was like, no, just to spite people. No.
Fair enough.
Because I know that you could also redeem it for, like, Apple movies or something. So I usually just did that because that's back when I used that.
I know nowadays, like, a lot of those services are like, I don't know if
even the big ones are down.
Like Ultraviolet doesn't exist anymore, I don't think.
Ultraviolet
I don't know if Voodoo is still a thing.
I actually think Sony bought Ultraviolet. So I think Sony just uses their own thing now.
Oh well.
Yeah. Anyways,
any final thoughts on Ultra Q?
Not really. Very solid. I definitely feel bad that I didn't watch it sooner. And I am actually going to buy it. It's listed for, I think, $60 right now.
What? 60?
60 something, maybe 59.
I would hope not. I spent like 30 on this.
I don't know. I feel
Hold on.
I looked it up somewhere and I thought I saw it for like 60, but maybe
let me check the good old Amazon.
Maybe it was
I would really hope it's not $60 nowadays.
Maybe I was looking at a reseller. I don't really know.
This only came out 2 years ago, and they're still. I don't know if they're still making the steelbook specifically, but I know they're still doing the normal release. Let me see. Well, Amazon doesn't have the Steelbook, but they have the normal one for $30.
Okay, well,
That's weirdly not. Hold on. Okay, so you can't. Amazon does still have the Steelbook for less than the normal version, only like $3, but still.
what?
I don't know,
Okay,
but still,
all right. Well,
don't spend $60 on a set that's only 30.
yeah, I won't. I don't know. I probably just misread it. I honestly have no idea.
Who knows? But yeah. There are other Ultra Q follow-ups that aren't Ultraman. There's Neo Ultra Q. There's Ultra Q Dark Fantasy, and then there's the only other one I've actually seen, which is a movie directed by. Okay. I blanked on the name for a second. Directed by Akio Jisoji, who directed a bunch of episodes of Ultraman and Ultra 7, and I talked about it with you when you were watching this. Imagine the folklore element of the Gamera trilogy and GMK ramped up to 11, and then throw a murder mystery in there.
Sick.
It is legitimately probably one of the best kaiju movies I've ever seen.
Wow. Okay.
And it doesn't it doesn't have a proper release here in the States. I don't know if it ever will. The only reason I've seen it is because our good pal Jared, he helped do a really, really bang up job on a fan sub for it last year, and I was blown away. It is so cool, and like now that you've seen the original series, you will actually like get some of the references that show up in there, because it's the same characters, not the same cast, but there are a lot of references sprinkled in throughout the movie, and it's really, really cool.
Huh, well, hopefully someday I'll get to watch it.
Yeah, I can send you the file for it.
That would be great.
Because again, it's not available in the States legally.
I'll take it. Cool.
Can you believe this is actually our longest episode so far?
It's our longest episode because of the weather.
Honestly, yeah.
And also because we've been doing a lot of waiting for Thunder to go away.
But it might end up being the longest episode period anyways, because like we are currently at over an hour and a half of the recording.
Okay. Well.
But before we go, other than Ultra Q, Brian, is there any cool new kaiju thing you've been checking out recently?
Not yet. I am going to be watching Evangelion starting probably tonight.
Okay. So are you thinking of doing the series and the movies? I recommend doing that.
I'm going to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion first.
All right.
And then I'll go to the movies. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I'll probably watch Godzilla versus Hedorah because it's the 50th.
Yeah, last week, I think last Friday was the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, I never got around to it because I was busy watching Ultra.
Yeah.
But I want to watch it because it's been a hot minute since I've actually seen it. It's probably been since we watched it with everyone at the Godzilla watch parties.
That was a while ago.
Way back when.
I've shown multiple groups of friends Godzilla movies, so it's been slightly more recent than that, but I am glad that you're going to be watching Evangelion because it's a wild ride. So as a reminder for you, Brian, so watch the entire series.
I will.
Don't skip the last 2 episodes like everyone else says.
I will not. You already told me I won't.
And then watch End of Evangelion, the movie,
all right,
which is also on Netflix.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yep.
Because that kind of serves the way it works. I'll be as spoiler free as possible. Both the end of the series and the End of Evangelion movie are both canon. It's just that they went way over budget in the series, so they had to like pull back on the animation a lot in the series. So that's why the last 2 episodes of the series are a little more introspective and not as action heavy as the rest of the series.
Okay.
And then that's why End of Evangelion happened, because people were sending Hideaki Anno death threats because they were unsatisfied by the series finale.
Jesus.
Yes.
Okay.
But we'll get to that. I don't know if we'll do an episode on the series or if we'll do it on the Rebuilds films. We'll find out. But
Talk about it.
we'll figure it out.
Talk about it later.
Yeah.
Audience, hit us up and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
What should we cover?
And, like, again, our anime episodes are successful. You guys really seem to connect with the Pacific Rim The Blacks episode and also the one for Godzilla Singular Point.
Yeah.
So I guess we're an anime podcast now.
Absolutely not.
Well, if you watch Gridman, we can do that. And then if we watch Dyna-Xenon, which I haven't even watched yet, we could do that as well.
Okay, maybe we can do a Discord watch party.
We could, because I would not mind watching Gridman again.
Or we could just do a watch party.
We could.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Both work.
In terms of the cool new kaiju thing that I've been checking out recently, other than rewatching the Evangelion rebuild films, which I have so generously lent to Brian, the second movie.
Look, it's an anime girl.
It's an anime girl. Wow. It's Mari, who's still not that interesting a character in that movie. Wow. I can't remember if she becomes interesting in the third, because it's been a while. But that second movie is it's so good. But the more interesting thing I want to talk about is I got my big $450 waxwork Godzilla set. So I now have the soundtracks for the first 15 Godzilla films on vinyl. And let me tell you, the fact that I own Godzilla and Jet Jaguar Punch 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 on vinyl, I feel like I have a lot of power now.
Okay.
I'm more powerful than I've ever felt in a long time. but in all seriousness, like it's really nice being able to listen to the Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla score on such like high fidelity sound. Like it's so good. Because I think we're in agreement.
I'm jealous.
I think we are in agreement that Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla is one of, if not the best, of the Godzilla scores.
My favorite.
Yeah.
My personal favorite, but I mean, you know, if you disagree, you're wrong.
I mean, Jared would probably agree, because we talked about using Ifukube music in non-Ifukube scored films, and that was Masaru Sato. And he didn't need no Ifukube in his movie.
Yeah, turns out creativity can also just be good.
Yeah. But no, it is really, really nice having those on vinyl now, and as much as it set me back $450, it's still 100% worth it, because I own Godzilla soundtracks now. And they look nice. The art is really cool. The vinyls themselves are all colored and they look great. And yeah, it's a nice thing to have. I don't know if they'll do the other. I would love to see them do a box set for the Heisei series or the Millennium series.
Would you pay for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know Waxwork did a release for the King of the Monsters soundtrack, but I think that's out of print now.
The only good thing about that movie.
They had two different ones. They had one that all three of the LPs were blue, and then they had one where one was red, and then blue, and then gold for Rodan, Ghidorah, Mothra. It was really cool. But I didn't have my turntable set up at that time, so I didn't get it. Now it's like $300.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Steep.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, I think that's it.
The end of our longest episode ever.
Yeah. I mean, we did have a bunch of firsts. We had you watching Ultra Q. We had you with news.
Yeah.
The running joke. Both running jokes are done.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to give you shit for in the next episodes now.
Well, they're gonna be running again, because don't count on me having any news next week.
Well, yeah, as long as you watch Evangelion, we'll be okay, I think.
Okay.
You can do that for me?
I can do that.
All right. Well, I think that'll about wrap it up for us. This was Talking Toku, Boston's only podcast about Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, and other kaiju friends. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Talking Toku. I don't really update either of those. I'm a bad social media guy, but hey, you know.
Make an Instagram.
I probably wouldn't update that much either. What am I going to post on Instagram?
I could update it.
What are we going to post on Instagram?
Events and stuff.
Like what?
I don't know. Releases, news, stuff.
I suppose.
Yeah. More traffic, Dave.
I suppose. We'll see. But yeah, that'll do it. I'm your host, David Scravani.
I'm your second host, Brian Kershaw.
And we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.